Hi there, I'm Laura McCracken here at the Marlene Dietrich Bar in Berlin for Merchant Payment Ecosystems. And I've got myself another victim to play a little bit of payment provocateur. Callum Ludgate, welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Excellent. So before we jump into our little game of payments provocateur, what brings you to Merchant Payment Ecosystem?
So I'm part of JP Morgan's global merchant service enterprise business, and we're here meeting with partners, with clients. We're a tier 1 enterprise e-commerce acquirer here in Europe, but more globally, we support clients from a card-present e-com perspective. And JP Morgan looks at payments from the end-to-end ecosystem perspective. So when we think of payments, we're the start from merchant in terms of pay-in, but then we take our clients across kind of traditional cash, trade and working capital, FX, all of that kind of payments ecosystem from an end-to-end perspective.
Excellent. And we're talking a lot about, at Merchant Payment Ecosystems, about customer problems and pain points. So what are the major pain points that your customers are talking about?
Yeah, I think the one thing that we see most frequently in the market is the idea that, this kind of seamless ability to be able to serve the end-to-end journey from a merchant service perspective. So kind of single global API, whether that be for card present, card not present. You think of local payment methods, right? So I think Europe is quite specific in terms of the way that it operates. Every 200 to 300 miles, you've got a different language, a different currency, certainly a different payment method to deal with. And I think what's important to our merchants is that through one single API, they have access to all of the different payment methods which are going to be prevalent in the market. JP Morgan recently launched 𝗘𝗣𝗂𝗃 in France. We're the first non-domestic French bank to do that, which is very important for us and our clients and our investment in that market. 𝗖𝗹𝗹𝗂𝗃 is another payment method that we have directly available for our clients. So I think it's that ability to be able to serve through one global API everything that our clients require as they move across this region and more globally too.
Awesome. Very good. And what about what's happening? What are you most excited about at Merchant Payment Ecosystems, like the payment trends that...
Yeah, I think there's a lot of conversation at the moment, particularly around in the orchestration space, right? I think this idea that comes back to that single global API. I think a lot of clients that particularly multi-acquire are particularly interested in the idea that, they can do a single integration and that can give them access to that partner ecosystem, something that we're very interested in playing with. And we work with a number of the leading and orchestrators as well to support our clients that choose to integrate in that direction.
Very nice. Cool. On that, are you ready for a card?
Let's do it.
You want to pick a card? Okay. I've got 8 cards here, and each one of them has a kind of a debate topic on it. So you can take your pick.
Okay.
Are you feeling like a...
Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts. You're a romantic, yeah?
Yeah, indeed.
Very nice.
So big tech versus traditional players. Who will own the future of payments?
It's a big debate topic.
Indeed, this is a question from you, for me, rather.
It's a question for you. So, who do you think is who's gonna own? Let's start off with who's gonna own the customer. Big tech or the payments institutions.
I think that's a very good question. I think here at JP Morgan, the way that we look at it, right? I think we are the bank of banks as well as the banks of customers. So I think we play in both fields. I think we have a really significant fintech community that we support from a JP Morgan perspective. So I don't think the answer is one or the other. I think it's very much a kind of dual-sided approach from a partnership perspective. And I think as we move through, we'll continue to support those scaling fintechs as they grow more globally. And I think from a JP Morgan lens, that's something we do really well in terms of being local yet global. So as fintechs scale and they look to expand across new markets, they're looking for people with local expertise, feet on the ground. And that's something that here at JP Morgan we certainly support.
Interesting. And what about, have you worked with any of the companies like Apple or Google or any kind of special partnerships, Amazon, any of the big tech guys?
Yeah, as you would expect, we're fortunate to have relationships with 8 out of the largest 10 tech players globally. So we certainly support them across that kind of payments continuum, if you like. I obviously focus more on the acceptance side, but I guess, like you say, as you look across the end-to-end payments ecosystem and what's important in terms of, pay in once the money's landed, how do we help optimize it to be, in the best location, and then from a more traditional trade and working capital to really optimize the way in which our large kind of big tech clients are doing business.
Yeah, yeah. And do you think you'll ever end up competing against a tech company? Like, you imagine Facebook or Apple becoming a bank. Can you see that happening?
I think there's certainly ripples in the market to that effect. I think it comes back to what I said. I think there's no one answer to each of the solutions that our clients look for. So I think, different players play really strong in different areas. I think at JP Morgan, we try and play across that continuum, like I say, in terms of being able to support the banks as their bank, but also to be able to support some of the larger tech players with their kind of growth ambitions. So I think in some cases we might compete, and in others we will partner. And I guess that's all part of being one big ecosystem that exists.
Yeah. I think one of the things that people come to me and talk about is trust. And I think that's where the banks might have a little advantage over some of the big tech players. If you think about Facebook payments, not many people want to put all their money into Facebook. They trust that high street bank.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where the real competitive advantage for the big JP Morgan would sit.
I think, resiliency, robust, reliability, compliance plays a really crucial part in terms of the decisions that we make as consumers, as you said, but also in terms of the decisions that, our customers choose to make as well. So I think exactly like you said, I think it's a case of once something starts to scale, and I guess, with the power of a partner like JP Morgan behind you, I think that can help to really create that reputation within the industry for some of the up and coming players.
Absolutely. And then from the big tech players, they can bring in some of the user interface and some of the innovation that helps to create new products for customers.
Yeah, we're always admiring the upcoming tech players, right? And kind of trying to keep our finger on the pulse in terms of some of the changes and evolution that is happening to see, how can we adapt? It's a big ecosystem, it's a big community. So we're always excited to learn more about the new players and all of the exciting things that they're doing.
Excellent. Well, listen, I am delighted to have met you. So please have a glass on me. And I look forward to seeing you at the awards dinner. Good luck. I hope that you walk away with an award or two.
So do we. Good luck to everyone. Thank you.